And I am alive. Welcome to this new episode of Film Talk. Today we talk about Andrea Arnold once again. It's the second time we talk about her movies over here on that channel. If you have been around, you may know my opinion on it. Andrea Arnold is talented. She did really good movie. I'm just maybe not the target audience for it. I didn't connect very well with most of her movies, and it's kind of the same thing with American Honey and Bird, the last two movies we shall cover tonight. Now, in case you missed it, we also talked about Sean Baker recently. He did really cool drama, and now let's just dive deep into American Honey. So there's no camera for me today for many reasons I won't really share. I will just say, hopefully, my voice will be enough for you to just tune in. Uh, anyhow, American Honey is one of the most memorable and enjoyable Andrea Arnold flick in my books, at least. I'd say it's not a masterpiece, it has issues. It's not my favorite Andrea Arnold either, but it's kind of very high, and it was very enjoyable to watch for the first time a few months ago. Now, let's get into my three issues with this movie. I thought the pacing was bad, and that's a trend with Andrea Arnold. I don't think your movies are that justified when it came to runtime overall. Now, my second issue characters were forgettable. That's another thing about Andrea Arnold. These characters, they're not that great. And maybe that's the point, because these are movies based on some characters you really follow, and it's real life, but it's not. Let's be honest. It's a movie. It's not real life, but they try to emulate aspects of real life. Now, my third and last issue with American Honey: plot convenience, bumping into the rich guys out of nowhere in the middle of nowhere. That's troublesome. Anyhow, American Honey, despite my three issues, I do think American Honey is a solid flick. It's a very fun experience. Again, I repeat myself a bit there. I gotta say, um, the look sad line was funny because some people look sad. And I think most of that movie, despite not having the best pacing, was quite entertaining. And as usual, the music choice was really good. And I will admit that Andrea Arnold is great at choosing the music. And I also enjoyed how that movie treats a character that's being honest, and honesty is kind of lost. So when we just have that character being honest, it feels like a breath of fresh air. It's very enjoyable. Now, I gotta say, the character, they were depicted as being very clever. And as usual, Andrea Arnold is great at showing things over telling. Again, I think Andrea Arnold, even if she's not my favorite out there, I do think she's really good. And American Honey kind of stands out. It's a road trip movie. It's a very fun road trip movie. And again, as a side note, just like most of the other Andrea Arnold, that movie is sad. It's sad because we get teenagers sleeping around. I don't know what's up with Andrea Arnold. Why is she obsessed with underage people having some fun? I get it, that's part of the human experience, but it just doesn't sit right with me. I No, no, it just doesn't sit right with me. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know, but yeah, I that's part of her signature, I guess. Now, American Honey, I don't have a lot more to say about that. Um, Despite the uncomfortable moment, that's the thing that keeps coming back with Andrea Arnold. I like that movie overall, and I will give that movie a well-deserved 8 out of 10. Now, we talk about the next one. The next one was a chore to get through. I really didn't like Bird. And it's funny because I did hear about Bird quite a lot before even watching it. And the main reason is I was watching a lot of 2024 movies. And if you look around on the channel, you may find lots of these reviews. And I've seen, I think, 120 ish 2024 movie, but in December, I had seen 100 in total. And Bird wasn't one of these. No, I decided to skip past that one until now, until this podcast, the Film Talk podcast. And I will be honest, I feel like I missed nothing. Now let's get into the proper review. Now, this movie has 3 issues, just like American Honey, but I feel like these issues they weight so much more with Bird. Because Bird, I didn't enjoy that experience as much. Is Bird a bad movie? I don't think so. Is it as good as American Honey? I don't think so. Bird is Bird. So I will sound like a broken record. My first issue will be pacing was bad. Lots of shots. They're only to say I'm pretty. And I feel like a lot of very talented filmmaker are guilty of that because they want to show you, look, I'm smart, look, I'm good. But that's pointless. That's filler. We don't need that. And that movie suffers from that a lot. Now, my second issue, characters were forgettable. And I will be honest, I've seen that movie just like American Honey uh, many months ago, actually. And I will admit, I remember some kind of aura in the group of the road trip we follow during American Honey. And the American Honey herself, she was enjoyable. She was a fun character. But with Bird, Bird, L, Bird, 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 I can't even remember any of these characters, not even the lead. All I remember is a really weird bird scene at some point by the end that I most likely didn't understand. But again, um, Bird, not a great showcase of characters. And it's unfortunate because, again, we covered Sean Baker, and Sean Baker was great at giving you amazing characters. So it just feels like a letdown when you're used to that kind of high quality storytelling with great character. But then you get Bird. Bird, Bird, Bird. I pile on that movie so much. That third issue I got. Again, broken record. Pacing was bad. The movie was 2 hour long, but it could have been 1 hour and a half. And maybe it's just me that may have misunderstood the movie. I don't know. But I will admit that the runtime dragged. And again, I will repeat what I already said. I felt like that movie was really a chore to get through into. And once the movie was over, once the credits rolled down, I was glad I was done with Andrea Arnold. So now let's just admit another thing. Despite my experience not being as good as American Honey, I see a lot more notes. So there's a lot of more rewind. There's a lot more things to say about Bird than there's to say about American Honey. And maybe that's part of the charm. Maybe that's why some people will like it. Now I will read some of the things that were enjoyable. Um, the bike ride, we have early in the movie a very interesting bike ride. The sets of that movie were cool. The music, as usual, music. Andrea Arnold. I think the highlight of Andrea Arnold's filmography is clearly the music she chooses. And again, that movie follows kids and underage people and their experience through the world, and it's kind of interesting because these kids, they feel real, and they follow the gangsters because they want to be like them, and it's really, really interesting. And using music to escape the harsh reality was cool. And I remember a parallel with Fish Tank and the dance. Let's dance to escape the harsh reality. And if you want to be depressed, watch rewind. Andrea Arnold. Watch Andrea Arnold. You will be depressed for a long time. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing, but that's just something I like to share. Now, the lead trying to get out with other kids, that was fun. And the climax with the fight with the abusive man was entertaining. I admit, I don't think I quite understood what happened with the guy turning into a bird after fighting the abusive guy. I also admit not understanding the ending. But again, um, even if I understood, even if I was like, you know what, that's a great ending, I think the lead up to it was quite weak, and that's unfortunate. Now, coming next on Film Talk, this episode was meant to be very short because I didn't expect anyone to just hop in to talk about these two random movies. Anyhow, this is the end of Film Talk. I will just give my grade for Bird with a 7 out of 10. Bird is a 7, American Honey is an 8, and I think Fish Tank and American Honey are clearly the best Andrea Arnold had to offer. And I'm glad we talked about her despite not enjoying the entire experience. It was something worth my time. And coming next, we will have a David Leach, not Lynch, Leach, the guy behind the Fall Guy. Anyhow, with that being said, let's move on to the outro and let's end this.